Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Well, Agile Project Management provides a flexible approach to project management which promotes collaboration and continuous improvement. Our first guest this morning, Agile coach and author of the book Agile Made Simple, Daré Makun, joins us now to tell us about the principles of Agile Project Management and how it can benefit your business. Daré, before we delve into Agile, I'd like to start the interview by gaining an insight into your own background.
Right. So I have a background in project management extensively. Before coming over to the States, I did start out in brand management, moved on to marketing, and then just right after some time around, it'll be about 20 years now, I moved on to the States, got my MBA. Right after MBA, got interested in project management, got it through the certifications. And as the world has been evolving around us, got really embedded in the world of Agile project delivery. So I've been around teams, just helping teams as a Scrum Master, as a product owner in different scenarios. And what do all these things mean? This Agile is big in the software space. I thought about how can I translate all of this information, all of these processes, all of these approaches into a way where a small business owner, mom and pop down the street, can actually apply some of this. That's why I wrote the book.
So what is an Agile strategy and how can they streamline business growth?
Right. So Agile, the word itself, let's look at it as a mindset. It's not just a methodology as it's often called, but it's a mindset that's focused on delivering value, adaptability, collaboration, and just delivering customer value on an ongoing basis. So think about your traditional models. You always rely on a rigid plan, which is often sequential. In project management, it's you initiate the plan, the project, and you plan for it, then you execute it. Quite sequential, which takes time. And by the time that product, that delivery is handed over to the client, to the customer, their needs may have changed. Because think about it, today everything is so fast-paced. Agility that is how technology is delivered to you, whether you know it or not. So think about your smartphones, all of the apps there, WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram, they're all integrated now. It's the same company, but you take a look one morning and it's looking different, right? That is agility working. How can you use the same mindset, the same processes in what you do? Is what I try to do with this book.
So what are the 4 core principles of Agile?
It starts with delivering a working solution all the time over extensive contract negotiations and extensive documentation. Secondly, you're collaborating with the customer always, over negotiating all the time. You're respecting your people over processes, right? And so not just relying on, hey, this is the process, this is how we do things, but respecting people, because people is what deliver things to you. And finally, you're collaborating consistently with the customer, which is the heart of what agility is really. So you create sort of a feedback loop between whatever services or product you hand over to the customer, and you use the information they give to you to improve the product which they already have.
And can Agile be applied to every business, or does it need to meet certain conditions or parameters for it to work well?
That is a good question. It has to meet certain parameters for it to work well. So for instance, if you have a team of 5 or more, meaning you're working with a team of people, then the coaching, the agile coaching, which I also offer, and just getting your team in sync on how to best apply agility to what you do, that matters. The critical factor question we should ask is, what problem are you solving or trying to solve as an organization, right? That will help inform what is the best framework to use in terms of agility. For instance, you're a barber, I just cut hair. I don't see how being agile is going to work for you. However, you need to have that mindset that, okay, what are people doing now? What's the new thing? Things like that. However, if you own a series of barbing shops, barbing salons, and you own maybe five, four, then you could use agility to manage your workflow. So it really depends on the team, the structure, the organization, the problem is trying to solve to determine what's the best um, agile solution. But first is to have that mindset. That I think that's a critical piece anybody can have.
What are the top AI tools that you're recommending to clients today?
Easily the top on the list is ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is very basic, can be very basic and can be very, very complex depending on what it is you're using it for. You can customize ChatGPT to suit exactly what you do. All of these AI tools really work on the prompts you give them. So if you need to spend time understanding how to talk to the GPT so it understands you. Talk to it like it's human. Talk to it like you would talk to a consultant, and then you get better results. There's other tools like Claude. Claude is certainly good for other things. Like if you're doing research and you want to put some meat on some work you're doing, and you can even use take information you got from Claude, put it in ChatGPT to enhance that prompt, things like that. There are other tools like Perplexity AI. Perplexity AI is also good for research. Certainly, if you want to use video or images, ChatGPT now has Sora, but there's DALL-E back in the day. There's always, I didn't mean back in the day. It's new too, but they're always updating all of these tools. It really depends on what you want to do.
Agile Made Simple. What can readers learn from this book?
At the very least, you'll learn how to begin implementing agility in what you do. What I try to do with the book is simplify a lot of the terms, a lot of the phrases we use, and use real world examples. I wrote the book to really break down complex concepts into practical, easy to implement steps. So you will learn the core principles of agility there. You will learn what the different frameworks are for being agile. So being agile is not one thing. It's really a mindset that gives you the philosophy about different ways to be fast in delivering a value to the customer, and you continue to iterate on that value. So in the book, you'll find practical tips for implementing it within a small business context. And the goal is really to simplify how small teams are making the decisions, and how you can create efficient workflows and confidently say, hey, we're addressing the customer's needs, because the customers are the heart of everything we do. Keep that in mind, and you can't go wrong normally.
And what are the common mistakes that companies and businesses make when it comes to implementing Agile, and how can these be avoided?
Usually, the communication thing I spoke about is a big deal there. When most teams are told to go and try and implement agility for the work they're doing, a lot of teams are already used to how they work, right? They're used to you're telling people to change how they do things, and because change is happening maybe in the industry, maybe there's a new government policy, maybe there's simply put, technology is moving really fast and we need to catch on to it. Once the leadership normally knows how this should work. They've been told about agility, they've shown them the numbers and metrics and such. The teams that implement what you're doing need to also know why. Remember, I said the teams have to know why. If you tell the CEO knows, now the C-suite people have been told, okay, yeah, go. Then you hire coaches to go teach the team, but now they're just showing up the team, but the teams are not prepped to know why these teams are coming to teach them. Why are we changing strategy? Why? There's got to be that initial communication with your team. You can't just, I'd say read my book for sure. And you can't wake up in the morning and say, hey, I just read this book. I read about Scrum. Let's do it. Why are we doing Scrum? What is Scrum? You have to take the team through what it is we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. And that way it introduces clarity, structure, and then the team is more collaborative in the effort that we're trying to do, because now it's a collective effort, right? And the final takeaway there is, when you choose agility, you're thinking that we win as a team, we lose as a team. So the team becomes important in delivering value to the customer. It's not just my work. It's not individualistic anymore. It's more team oriented.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Daré Makun, Agile coach, practitioner and author of Agile Made Simple. And I'd like to thank Daré for sharing his knowledge with us this morning.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.